Dan Quinn set to have his second interview with Washington to be their head coach. And there's a great chance he could, if he gets that job, he could take Al Harris with him. Our secondary coach has done a phenomenal job developing guys like Jordan Lewis, DeRon Bland, obviously Trayvon Diggs, getting the best out of Stephon, the veteran, Stephon Gilmore, just showing a phenomenal ability to coach the secondary. Listen, man. If we lose Dan Quinn and Al Harris, that'll be a big loss. That would be a huge loss, man. We want to definitely do what we can to try to keep those guys if we can, or at least one of them. I wouldn't mind if Dan Quinn gets to, because you can't turn down a head coaching job. You can't turn down a head coaching job. But if you are the Dallas Cowboys, you can't let both of them leave the building. And Al Harris knows Dan Quinn's defense. He's been working with him for years. And I would like for Al Harris to get an opportunity to see what he can do as our defensive coordinator if Dan Quinn does indeed decide to leave. Because if he's going to leave as the head coach, he's taking Al Harris with him. You can believe he's probably going to make Al Harris his defensive coordinator. So if the guy who built our defense into what it is, one of the best pass rushers in the league, one of the best pass defenses overall in the league with our secondary, if Dan Quinn believes in Al Harris that much, it would probably behoove the Dallas Cowboys to believe in him the same way, so that we don't have to rebuild our defense, because at least Al Harris can keep some of the same concepts. He knows these players. He can work with these players and keep them, going in the direction that we've been going defensively. Because the last thing you want is a new defensive coordinator with a brand new scheme coming in, and does his scheme fit your players? Because our scheme has been kind of molded over the years to this hybrid, rely on speed, get to the quarterback. Your secondary is just ball hawking all over the place. That's what we've become. Not everybody plays defense like that. Not everybody would have the ingenuity and the creativity to move Micah Parsons around the way that Dan Quinn did. So that would be some big shoes to fill. That'd be some big shoes to fill. And the learning curve would not be as steep to get to know the players, to get the trust of the players. It would not be as steep if you keep Al Harris on and just hire him as a defensive coordinator. We've seen this with Dan Quinn before. When Dan Quinn left Seattle and went to Atlanta and got their job, Seattle promoted Chris Richard, who was their secondary coach, to defensive coordinator, and he did a good job for a couple of years. That defense was able to continue to be dominant under him because he understood the players. He had already gained the trust of their vaunted secondary. Guys like Richard Sherman trusted him. Earl Thomas trusted him. And it kept going. And we supposed to be in win now mode. Our organization does not have time to build up a whole new defense for our defensive coordinator to come in and get the trust of the players, try to teach them a whole new scheme, an entire new way of thinking and a way of playing defense. They need to find a way, first of all, to try to do everything they can to keep Dan Quinn. Ain't no salary cap when hiring coaches, right? And you damn sure don't want to let Dan Quinn go to your rival in your division and see him 2 times a year, where he knows your offense in and out. He knows your players in and out. You need to do what you can do to try to keep that man. Real talk. But if you can't keep him, you can't lose the second biggest figure on your defense, or should I say on your defensive coaching staff. Because we all know the stars of the defense, right? You got the players. We all know who they are. Micah Parsons, Trayvon when he get back, DeRon Bland, Stephon Gilmore. We all know who the key cogs in our defense was. DeMarcus Lawrence, obviously, on the field. But off of the field, if you're a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, if you really watch this team, you know our two best defensive coaches was obviously Dan Quinn, our defensive coordinator, and our secondary coach, Al Harris. You can't lose both of them, bro. You got to try to do everything you can to keep both of them, or at least one. You can't let coaching talent like that walk out the door. You can't, because if you do, our defense will take a step back. And with the way that our offense plays in big moments, our defense cannot afford to take a step back. Now, obviously, they got a lot to work on because, shit, you was down 20-0 in the second quarter of a playoff game, do-or-die playoff game. So, yes, the defense has holes. We all know what they are. They got to find a way to stop the run. We need middle linebackers. We need linebackers in general that ain't converted safeties, 220 pounds, getting pushed around. We need defensive linemen that are agile and quick, but also at the same time ain't just gonna get pushed around by the offensive line. Our only way to stop the run can't be hoping that somebody uses their athleticism, shoots a gap, and gets a tackle in the backfield through penetration. We got to be able to stop the run sometimes by having our defensive linemen swallow up blocks, keep our linebackers free, and our linebackers are big enough to make the tackle, while also being quick enough to fill whatever hole that needs to be filled and can read the lanes. Because a lot of times the linebackers we have rely on their speed so much they over pursue. They get out of position. They get cut back on. And now that's a minimum of a 5-yard run, 6-yard run, 8-yard run. So it's some things for our defense to work on, but I'd rather work on them with a guy that got something already figured out. Because our defense done figured out how to turn the ball over on a consistent basis. Our defense can get to the quarterback top 5 of the league the last 3 years, getting to the quarterback. We got that shit on lock. And you do not want to lose your best 2 defensive coaches, man. It's a lot of drama in Dallas, man. As it should be following this devastating, heartbreaking loss to the Packers. I think what gets fans is you can lose the game, bro. But make fans feel like you came and you fought. Make fans feel like you tried, bro. Because it looked like soon as the defense didn't get one stop, they head down and shit. Like, damn, bro, that's just one time. Stop them next time, dog. And they let the shit snowball. It's like the moment got to them and shit. Soon as Dak and CeeDee Lamb had one incomplete pass, they started tripping out there. Like, dog, like, damn, it's just one pass, bro. Don't let that shit go to the next play. And before you know it, you look up 20-0. Game over with. Game over with. So, we'll see how this shit plays out. But if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, you better find a way to keep somebody. If you can't keep Dan Quinn because he just got to take a great opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL again after what happened in Atlanta, we understand that, bro. We understand that. But you promote Al Harris and you make him an offer he can't refuse. So you be like, sorry, Dan, I can't go with you, dog. Defensive coordinator, like, because if you're going with Dan Quinn because he's gonna be the head coach and they're offering you his defensive coordinator position at Washington. We're talking about Washington because Dan Quinn going on his second interview, but at Washington because Dan Quinn gives you a defensive coordinator position. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, you'd be a fool to let that happen. You need to offer Al Harris. If Dan Quinn says, I'm taking the head coaching job here, Cowboys need to offer Al Harris the defensive coordinator position here. Because look at Washington's defense. Look at Dallas's defense. Look at the players that you have to work with Washington. Look at the players that you have to work with in Dallas on defense. We all know the answer to the question, which one is a more desirable job for a defensive coordinator getting his first shot at being a defensive coordinator? it's the Dallas Cowboys. So they need to make sure they keep both of them if they can, or at least one of them, man. That's my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash the like, sub to the channel. I see y'all soon. Peace out.